Hey Flosstube. It's Emily C. Eclectic Possessions. As you can tell, I worked on my hair again last weekend, so today's just a lazy day though. Like I literally woke up from a nap. It's no heat on my hair today, so this is just wash and wear and no makeup. So it is what it is. Let's see. Got a new t-shirt. Digging it. And today is June 1st. So that means Stitch Mania or my MonogaMaynia is officially over. Kinda, sorta. So, all the month of May, I worked on His Eye is on the Sparrow by Heartstring Samplery. That's this piece. One of Beth Twist's amazing, amazing designs. I'm doing this on a 36 count piece of PTP Velt, 2/2, as is my preference. When I started it, I had about this much done. Please forgive the wrinkles. This has been in a Q-snap for the past month, so I had about this much done. This is where I'm at now. I have been trying so hard to work towards a finish or close to a finish on this piece. And I am enjoying it so much that I really don't think that I'm going to put it down. My plan was to stop and start a new start as a reward, but I don't think I'm going to allow myself to start Red Deer Sampler until this is done. I think I'm just going to keep on cruising into June. I'm enjoying this so much. Love it. So anyway, this is all the called for threads. And I have recharted a verse across the top, which is one that my husband picked out. It is a Friedrich Nietzsche quote, "Whatever is done for love occurs beyond good and evil." And I actually have uploaded where I very simply charted this into my Google Docs. And for anyone who is interested in a non-religious verse, this verse to put in here, I will actually put in the description box below a link to that in my Google Docs. Guys. As soon as I finish this, I'm taking it straight to the framer and it's getting framed. Speaking of framer, they were running a really good sale at my Michael's over Memorial Day. So I took a couple of old finishes and dropped those off. They are there right now. I dropped off Good Huswife Book of Spells, and I dropped off Prairie Moons, the Red and the Black 2. So I'm excited to get those back. Trying to decide what I want to show you guys next. I think I'm going to show you haul. I placed an order, actually I placed a couple of orders from Country Sampler up in Wisconsin, and one was because I was on their website and noticed that they had one copy of this left, which is a sampler that I fell in love with because of the cow. And I had seen it when someone toured the attic and decided that I needed it, but I couldn't find it. This is Maria Tilly. I know it's still available some places, and it does pop up occasionally on eBay. So this is Needlework Press, Maria Tilly. Love the cow. Just love the just kind of brown tone of it. Look at all the bricks in the house. So I bought this, and you know, charts can't travel alone. So I also grabbed this out of print Prairie Moon, the Good Shepherd. I've always liked this one, I've just never bought it. And I grabbed this Carriage House Samplings, and I think they have some more of this one, so if anybody else is interested, this is Agnes Rowlinson. Most places you see this for $18. Country Sampler had it for like $8 or $9. They had it on like clearance or sale. So I actually have always liked it and have considered just doing the small piece. And it always just kind of felt hard to pay $18 for it when I only really wanted to stitch that part of it. Really enjoy that. So anyway, I think they still have some of these left if anyone is interested. A couple of eBay finds. I snapped this up for an amazing price. I think I got this for 99 cents plus shipping. This is the Sampler Company. Lori was stitching this at New Jersey the last time that we were up there, or the first New Jersey retreat, and it's so beautiful in person. Love it. Love it. And this is one that I had actually never seen before, and I saw it on eBay. This is the Hannah Cushing sampler. Love me a good house. House on a hill. Forest. Dig it. Because nobody wants to watch an Emily video that's only like 6 minutes long. I also did something before I came down here. I was pulling some things that I really want to start, because right now my head is in a flurry of pieces that I want actually framed in on my walls. So that's one reason I'm going to keep pushing on his Eyes on the Sparrow, because that's a piece I want framed in on my wall. So I was kind of trying to match up fabrics with charts. One that I am going to at least put a few stitches in today, because today is the first day of Amy and Diana's Magical Moth Sal, which is HL Moth by Kathy Barrick. They're all starting that today, June 1st. So I've got to at least put a few stitches in. I had a scrap of Picture This Plus Ale left over from an old piece. I think that's going to look really earthy and nice. My plan is to wing it, no pun intended, and change the pinky coppery tones to greens as I drop things. So when I was upstairs, I just pulled some threads that I was really feeling for this piece. There's some color and cotton, there's some Victoria Motto, there's some Gast in here, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'll put a little progress update on that later today on Instagram. It'll probably just be a few stitches, because I'm telling you guys, I am locked in on his Eyes on the Sparrow. That's where my head's at. So let's look at samplers. Okay, I broke down and joined the ABC Schoolgirl Sampler Club through the Country Sampler. So I got Maria Finney, 1832, the Adam and Eve Sampler by Shakespeare's Peddler. I couldn't handle it. Everybody was starting it. I love it. I think I'm going to start a hashtag though, like hashtag no more chubby cherubs, or hashtag cats not cherubs, because I'm actually on his Eyes on the Sparrow. I have decided I'm going to take the little angels out of there too. I don't know why. I just don't care for them. And they're all over old samplers. So I think I'm going to just plop something else in there. So if you've noticed me kind of stitching around a blank area in his Eyes on the Sparrow, that's why I'm formulating in my head like what motif I'm going to move around, or maybe pull from another one of Beth's samplers and put in there. But, so I got this. Comes with these beautiful threads, and it comes with this piece of fabric. I'm going to pull this out. So when I called the shop, I talked to the lady. Wonderful customer service, by the way. But we talked about the fact that Dye Works is changing their base. I asked if my 36 count, crinkle, crinkle, would be the new Zweigart base or if it would be like regular Weeks Dye Works. She told me that mine would be the new base. It doesn't feel like it is. It feels like Weeks Dye Works. So I'm thinking, plus it just feels small, but I'm not complaining because this is what I expected. But I'm thinking that I might just kind of tuck this back and stash. And maybe I will use this piece of silk weaver. This is a 36 count silk weaver Zweigart Edinburgh linen in sand dune, which you can see is extremely similar to this piece that came with it, except it's got a little bit of modeling in it. This one feels like a solid color. This one feels a little mottled. And I just like the feel of this better. So I'm thinking I'm going to switch over to this. Diana, this may come live with you. So that's that. And then I just started pairing up fabrics with stuff that I really wanted to start. So I showed this recently. This is the one that Jessie Marie got so excited about. This is Mary Lynn Farms Leah Grinnell, 1872, which I guess is like the Virginia Tech establishment year. This one I've got to have ready to go whenever Jessie wants to start it. So I was looking through what I had, and I had a piece of Silk Weaver Antique Almond, which feels kind of perfect. It's another piece where it's just a good sampler color with very slight modeling. I need to get the threads for this. So that's kind of what I was doing today, is pairing things up, and does this use DMC or do I need to get threads? This one is stitched with Gentle Art Simply wool, but it says that the colors and the cotton are pretty much the exact same color. You know, it's just a different texture, obviously. So I'm probably going to try to get the gassed cottons for this. And I was actually sitting here the other evening and I was stitching and I didn't have the TV on or anything, and just, do they call it EMDR or whatever, like the videos where it's just like sounds that soothe you? The sound of cotton floss pulling through linen is really soothing to me. It's like a white noise that just calms my frazzledness, calms my anxiety. And I think that's why I really prefer cotton threads over silks a lot of the time, because that sound, I love it. So I see me getting the gassed cottons and doing these together. So I'm actually going to make a separate stack over here of ones I need to get threads for. This one I'm not sold on, my fabric choice. Jim and I went through all these before I decided to film, and he said that it's not like the original or the one on the model, but that he thought it would look really good. He agreed with me. So this is the Lucy Red sampler. This is an old chart. This is by Homespun Elegance. I've had this in my stash for a long time. I really love it. And I would like to get this kitted up, ready to go whenever I get the urge. And I believe this is just stitched with DMC. Yeah, this is just a DMC. And I paired this with a piece of Picture This Plus Rin that I had on hand. I had originally thought a while ago that maybe I would do it on a piece of ale. I don't have another piece of ale. I would have to order some. And that, I don't really want to order any other fabrics. And I think that the Rin would look really nice. What do you guys think? I think some of those browns that are in there that get a little lost might even pop better on that. So that's my thought. This is Charlotte Clayton. I fell in love with this seeing Nicole Needleworks finish. This is charted for NPI, DMC, and Anchor. I'm not doing NPI. I'll do the DMC. So that means I'm good to go. I will be doing this Charlotte Clayton sampler with these gigantic cats on a piece of 36 count vintage sand dune. I think Nicole, I think you did yours on vintage sand dune, but yours was 40 count, I think, because I looked for your old video to look at it. Your sand dune looks a little lighter than mine, but I think I like this. I'm digging it. Oh, and Nicole, I saw your video where you were talking about how you bought back your old His Eyes on the Sparrow on 36 count Ren. Girl, stick with the Ren. That's where it's at. It looks amazing on that fabric. It looked good on the one that you had restarted on. But the Ren, I think the Ren is where it's at, if you care. Okay, so Charlotte Clayton, that's DMC, that's now ready to go. An old chart that I loved for a long time and couldn't find was Ann Rayner, which I think is an out-of-print Threads Through Time sampler. It's on eBay right now. I looked at it before I filmed, and it's got like a little over a day left, and I think it's going for $50-something plus shipping right now. If you want Ann Rayner, buy Sarah Stewart Hardman. This came out last year by Needlework Press, and it is so similar. Like the house, the sheep, the shepherd, this house, this. It's almost, it's not the same sampler, but it's really similar. In fact, I was telling Jim, I think I like this one better. And this one is readily available everywhere because it just came out earlier this year. So you can get this for $20, $25. It's pretty awesome. I just saw somebody finish this on Instagram recently, and it's so pretty. This one calls for classic color work. Well, it calls for Tudor silk. Emily didn't have that silk money. Plus, like I just explained, I really like cottons. So I may try to kit this up with the classic Colorworks cottons. Kind of excited about the idea of that, actually, because a lot of these are colors that I've never used before, because I've never used a lot of classic Colorworks. Does anybody else get excited like that over the idea of new threads that you haven't used? What's also exciting me is I ended up pairing this. I think it will fit. Let's see. It says on 36 count, this will be about 13 by 14. So if I'm okay with a 2-inch border on one side, which I am, I'm okay with that, I can put it on this piece of limited edition color and cotton that came with their Halloween box that I got. It just feels like it was made for this. This is the limited edition fat quarter that came, and it's like a gray brown. Angela, I don't know if you watch my videos, but please tell me that you are dyeing this regularly now, because this has got to be one of the most beautiful pieces of fabric I've ever seen. I love it. It's like khaki and gray together. But that's going to happen. So I'm putting this over here because I need to get the fancy threads. This is Jane Tyndall. I tracked this down at a shop up in Ohio. Harvat, this was your shop. Stitching Ooh, maybe? Maybe? I've got a thing for like shepherds and obnoxious amounts of grass and full coverage at the bottoms of pieces. So this is another needlework press. I got a thing for their samplers too, obviously. So I tracked this one down. I got a copy of it. I really like the idea of doing it on a piece of PTP Legacy. And if you know Legacy, it's showing up with a little bit of a different hue than it has in real life here on the camera. It's a beautiful fabric. I actually have some stockpile of Legacy upstairs for other pieces. So that's going to go together. This is charted for DMC and Ava Silks and Gloriana. This is going to be done in DMC. So that goes here. Next is Jane Baxter. This is Victorian Rose Needle Arts. You make beautiful sampler reproductions. However, this picture on the front of this does not do it justice. This is a terrible picture. Google or look on Instagram for Jane Baxter 1838 or Jane Baxter sampler and find a good picture, because this one isn't doing it. But one of the reasons that I bought this, not only does it say, I have done this to let you see what care my parents took of me when I'm dead and in my grave. I hope their piece, this piece of work you have, I liked the little verse, I wouldn't change that. But also has a turkey on it. Usually you see a lot of peacocks, which they're here, but that's a straight up turkey. I have a piece of Crinkle Crinkle. I'm going to take this linen out of here. I'm doing this on a piece of Under the Sea Fabrics, Properly Primitive, which is, it's kind of like PTP Velt, but darker, and it's just got more brown and green instead of cream. So I like the idea of this going on this piece that looks really old and kind of mildewed. I'm digging it. I think that it's going to be really cool. I also have another big piece of this hoarded upstairs. If I come across a big sampler that I want to do on them. And this is charted for NPI and DMC. So I'll be doing the DMC. Last, I know I've shown you this, guys, this a million times, but once I finish His Eyes on the Sparrow, this is going to be my celebratory new start. It was supposed to be my new start for high tea in May, as celebratory of working on His Eyes on the Sparrow for that long. I kept on with His Eyes on the Sparrow. Red Deer Sampler. I love this piece, and Jim had bought me all of the threads except for a couple, and I'm tossing those in. They weren't available. You know, sometimes Gast has a problem dyeing things, so they're hard to get. So he got me all of these threads. I tracked down this piece of vintage cedar plank by Lakeside Linens at Sassy Jack's, and they sent that to me. So this is all ready to go. Threads and everything. And that's it. So my plans are keep on trucking and finish His Eyes on the Sparrow. Start my Magical Moth Sal today. Start the Red Deer Sampler. And finish Mermaid's Folly, which is never too far away. I have it in my bag right here. It will get finished this summer as well. So I have big plans. Lots that I plan on doing. For those that won the Duck Adoption custom bag giveaway in Lindy Stitches swag, I have not forgotten about you. I worked on trying to pull from Stash the perfect fabrics for you, but I ended up ordering both of you what I hope is the perfect fabric for you. So I got both of those in this week. I'm hoping to get them cut out and fused and sewn tomorrow. I'm hoping I'm not lying to you. They will get done in the next week though, and I'll get those out in the mail to you. I'm really excited. I love doing personalized bags for people because the design part of it is my favorite part. Like really asking people questions and trying to make someone the perfect bag. I dig it. So that's it. That puts this video at almost 30 minutes. I will get this uploaded and I'm going to put my feet up for a while and stitch some more and just enjoy my Saturday. I had been having a really rough time for a few weeks now with anxiety. There was some stuff going on that hopefully has settled down now and will no longer be a stressor for me. Cross your fingers. So hopefully with that gone, I can finally relax. The only other thing that's going on right now that isn't great is Buster's still not doing well. I'm not sure I mentioned this in a video. We had to take him to the vet 2 to 3 weeks ago because he's been having issues about every 2 weeks. He wakes us up in the middle of the night vomiting, like profusely. And it seems to be a hairball issue because oftentimes there is, this is gross, I'm sorry, there's evidence of that. He's lost a lot of weight. And then in the past couple of days, he's started sneezing, and I can just tell that he just doesn't feel like himself, and Jim and I are both really worried about him. The vet he's on a medication now twice a day, and he has a gel, and then I bought him some lysine, and you guys know I'm not a religious person, but if you are, say a prayer for my little Buster, light a candle for him, keep him in your thoughts. He's our baby. But with that said, our baby is 11 years old now, so I told Jim he's basically, you know, we're taking care of a 60-year-old man with urinary and digestive issues. But he's our old man, and we love him. So whatever he needs, we'll do. And I hope he gets to feeling better and back to his old self soon. It puts a little weight back on because I'm not comfortable with Buster being so bony. But I mean, he curls up in our laps, he purrs, he eats, maybe not as much as he used to, but I mean, he comes running in when it's time to eat, and he plays some, and he still alphas up and kicks Dharma off of a food dish occasionally, saying it's his, so, but you can tell he just doesn't feel great. Anyway, that's it. Happy stitching, and jump in on Magical Moth if you have that, and I will talk to you guys hopefully in a couple of weeks. Bye.